Peace, peace, y'all. Yo, we made it, man. This is fruition. You reach a turning point. You've reached the turning point. You chose something. You made an agreement. You made an agreement, and now it brings you to this point in time, where as though all you have to do is manifest. You've done the work. You've done the work. The habits got you this far. Not just what you desired or what you wish to achieve, or that goal that you wanted to, that goal that you set for yourself, right? No matter what it is. The habits change your identity. They got you to this point. And it's definitely a turning point. It's actually harder to go backwards, to go back to that memory in which and where you came from. That's gone. That doesn't even exist anymore. That doesn't even exist no more. You woke up today. Today is a new world. We seem as though that when you wake up and we're on repeat almost, a lot of things seem like you be on repeat, but everything's new. You don't repeat the same. You don't repeat the days. It's impossible. So what reminds you of the previous days or the previous weeks or the previous years is ultimately just your habits. Your habits follow you. Your habits you are your habits. That's your identity. So rather than focus on, rather than focus on the turning point, you need to focus on who you wish to become. Who's the person that's going to achieve that, whatever that is you set out to achieve? That goal, right? Short term, long term, it don't really matter. Who accomplishes that? It can't be the old expired version or the you of yesterday. Can't go back and get that one back. That's over with. So you step into the now, being as though you're here. All the work that you put in thus far, if all failed right now, you will not be. You cannot be the old expired version. You just gotta step into the now, or that identity to which your habits created right now. Why not focus in on what you want to achieve? That's not gonna bear any fruit. It's the system in which you need to implement that's going to bring that version of you to the now. It's got to be the system. Okay? The system is your habits ultimately. All right? That's going to be your habits. Just like a bad habit follow you, a good habit will follow you. All right? It's something that's automated. It's a rhythm. It's a flow. It's like a flow state, right? You're not gonna have to think about. You don't have to think about. It wouldn't be a habit if you have to think about it consciously. You got to think about it, right? Like make good choices, right? I stand on that. You have to implement and stack good habits. Like you stack money. Like you stack anything else, you got to stack your habits, stack good habits, and that work gonna get done. You wouldn't even be at this point. If it wasn't good work being done. You understand? Yeah, man. It's like I said, this is a turning point. you're doing a certain thing, or you wouldn't even be here. The old way is not going to work. That old version is not going to do it. I tell you like this. You can't give up on a mission. You can't give up on a mission. You can't. Now, I'll say it like this. You don't have to be, I'm going to say the seed is perfect. The seed is already perfect. As long as the seed is perfect, every vote casted is not going to be, to that version. And that's all right. That version of, or that highest version of yourself, that highest, where we're going at, right? Every vote doesn't go there, and that's all right. That's like making every shot. You're not going to make every shot. Sometimes, that bad habit's going to pull you, you say, that's right. I was supposed to not be doing that. That's all right too. That's all right, because at the end of the day, the good is going to outweigh the bad. You know what I'm saying? You're good as long as you get more votes on the high versus on the low. More votes for that version that high version, that high road that you're going to, then you win the election. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the way it works. I mean, in my experience, you say I'm gonna walk X amount of miles, right? Daily. Coming from someone that doesn't exercise, it's easy to go out, work, and walk, right? Especially, we made it, man. This is fruition. It's truly wonderful to be here. Hit that like and subscribe. If you're able to walk, if you got feet, okay, it'll be easy to walk. Now, why focus on walking 10, 15 miles if you said that's what your goal is, right? And then you fall short and then give up on it. And this is the mindset of, this is the mindset that we have, or even if you did, you say, I'm gonna go out and walk 10 miles. I go out and walk 10 miles. Then the next day, you go out and you walk, but you only do half a mile, right? Then the next time you walk half a block. Before you look at you'll look at yourself as like you failed. Nah, that's almost like, you made a conscious decision to cut out sodas, right? And you go a week without sodas. And then one day, you have a soda. Then you say, I messed that up. I'll try again next year. No, that's not the way it goes. You have to stack good habits. And a good way to start is what got you here. It's the small changes. It's the little degrees, the slightest degree of change, right? It's the slight that gains you the slight edge, right? It's the small particulars in the book Atomic, in the Atomic Habits, right? They call them atomic habits. That's how you break that makes it atomic, right? Down to atom. All right. You break it down to the smallest the smallest inch or the smallest degree that you can change in, and you can make that inch forward, right? Man, over time, yeah, you might not look up in a week and be running a marathon. I'm not saying that. You might not look up in a week and be out the pre-diabetes ballpark. Nah. But over time, that potential builds up. And that, even when it doesn't seem as though it was doing anything, that thing was being stored. All right. Now we talking about the polarity, the law of polarity. All right. These is principles. All right. Man, you supposed to be here. You supposed to be here, because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be here. You know, that's my understanding. This is a turning point. This is a turning point. You know, for whoever's on that path, if you look around, man, when you think it a certain way, getting up this hill, when you think it a certain way, with no clear evidence of it, it's usually that way. You know, I mean, if that's what you thought about that thing if you really felt that energy, that vibration, you was in there, you was tapped into that, it was usually like that. Okay, so this found you. This is fruition, man. You understand? We stacking good habits, and that work gonna get done. That work will get done. You just gotta keep working, you know? I might not be able to, I set out to upload, you know, record 3-4 times a week, you know? That thing gonna get like that. You know what I mean? But just because, you know, I miss a day of recording, or I didn't get the upload, I can't go back. You know, our life depends on it. You know, can't be that version. I don't even know that version. That version doesn't even exist. You understand? You build your identity in the future, which is now, from here on out, through your habits, and you can change just like that. Who did that yesterday, man? I don't know him. I don't know the guy. For real. You know? But like I said, man, just, you know, I just wanted to tap in on that, man, because, you know, this definitely is a turning point for us all. We're not who we was yesterday. You know? And what happened and what needed to happen, we had to reflect and we had to reflect on it and really receive on why it happened for us, not to us. You know? But man, you know, if you're here with me right now, man, we made it, man. We crossed that threshold. So, you know, on you know, the glass is always up. You know? Who's looking at a half empty glass? I see a half full glass. You know? For sure. And stack good habits. You know? Hey, guess what? You stop them cigarettes. Hey, guess what, man? You stop buying them. You stop buying them cars and them expensive vacations and everything. You stop, you know, going to the bars. Right? You started walking, and you starting to use that bicycle, you know, more than you have, right? That's to the good, you know. So what? You said, yeah, I'm gonna start riding. So what? You only rode twice in the past 2 weeks. Hey, ride once this week coming up, God willing. All right. Yeah, it's that way, man. Stack the good habits. Stack good habits. That work gonna get done, man. Man, we just planting seeds, man. That seed gonna grow, man. You know? That seed gonna grow. For sure, man. Check this out. Man, it's hot out here. You take a seed. The seed in itself has everything it needs to reproduce itself. I mean, you can apply it any way that you need to, but just stay on topic, right? We're stacking good habits. We're becoming. That's what this is. We awakened or chosen for this, right? The seed has everything in it. It needs to reproduce itself, to produce another one. That, man, that's a whole nother video. All I'm saying is your identity is your habits. Your goals isn't as important as your system or the mechanics or operation in order to get those goals. All right? That's your habits. That's our habits. That's how important the habit is. One day at a time, right? Yeah. But it's what you do with your time. Tell your time what to do. Tell your time what to do, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't really matter what the endeavor is. I'm saying whatever the I don't like to say end goal. Whatever the achievement you wish to, whatever that mile mark you wish to get to, right? The only way to get there is to get moving towards it. Doesn't matter. Each rep counts. Them good reps. Shout out to everybody that's getting their health on, man. Them good reps, man. That's good money. There's a whole bunch of money out here. Ain't nobody can eat all this money. You know what I mean? Listen, put one foot in front of the other, man, and go that way. That's what it's about, man. It ain't about being perfect. It ain't about watching nobody. It ain't even about watching yourself, man. You know, play the hand that you was dealt, but play it right. Play it right. Put one foot in front of the other, man, and let's max. We're gonna walk with me. You know what I mean? We're gonna get down this road one way or another, man. So what? Okay, yeah. We came up a couple miles short today. Cool. That was better than it used to be. Man, and that's what I stand on. It's better than it used to be. I can live with that. You know? You ain't gotta do nobody else. Be you, do you. You know what I mean? These is good habits. We stacking good habits. You don't have to worry about, you don't even have to worry about where you know, how far away something is from me, this, that, and the third. You know, that's the comparisons is the thief of joy. You stealing, you know what I mean? You taking from yourself. I ain't trying to hurt me. What hurt me for? You can examine everything in your life. Examine everything in your life and really think about it. Like what would I trade? Which part of it would I trade for what somebody else has? If you could find anything in it, you got some work to do. You know? What part, you know? Like, you got some work to do. Because there's something in it I just couldn't imagine, you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine not loving this thing. You know? Not loving this thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. And I'm glad you can make it, man. Stack good habits, man. This for you, man. This fruition, man. Everybody have a truly wonderful, great everything. Peace.